Well, good morning, everyone. I think we can start with this interesting parallel session called Crafting Business Innovation Climate Services. I am Simone Taddeo from CMCC, and I will be conducting this session alongside with Chiara Bidoli that you can see on the screen, and she also is part of CMCC, and together with her, we are gonna go through this session, this interesting session about business innovation in the climate services. So the outline of these 45 minutes will be a brief introduction of business model innovation. Then we are going through the different blocks of the business model canvas, which is like a tool that we use during this task. And then we have like on hand business CEO talk with the CEO of Ecosistema, Stefano, and which is really the most interesting part of this session, and then we give some takeaways at the end of the presentation. So first of all, before to start, I will like address anyone if can raise the hand if has ever used this interesting tool called Business Model Canvas in their daily task, if has ever heard about that. And maybe if you are like really curious to see how this model could work within your daily job or daily task. Anyone has any suggestion before to start? So if nobody raised the hands, we can start in describing which is basically this task can say. So basically, the aim of this parallel session is technically to explore how business models for climate services are designed and used to maximize benefits and value in the decision-making process. It focuses on linking also like value management with business model innovation, also to identify how resources can contribute to successful climate service models. So why?
Sorry for the slides, but I have some issue. If some hosts can help me, I cannot change it.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so I was like saying that like business innovation discuss is really central and to design and refining climate service models to basically enhance their effectiveness and market adoption. This because it intersects like different kind of aspects. First of all, it creates like a new value proposition. So there's like innovative ways for climate services that can address consumer needs, generation of like new values for decision makers across various sectors, but this will be zoomed in by Chiara in the next slides. But before doing that, like let's just give like a brief insights of the why business innovation is really a central topic in climate services. This also like optimize resource utilization, so it helps us to explore how tangible, for example, technology or intangible assets, for example, expertise or data, can be better leveraged to improve service offerings. Also, it helps us to develop like an adaptive business models. So using tools like business model canvas to experiment with different configuration that enhance like the delivery, scalability, and profitability of climate services. They also business innovation and climate service help us to address some market barriers. So innovating to overcome adoption of the bottlenecks by analyzing challenges, using participatory exercise, and proposing improved configuration for future business models. In sum up, just in a nutshell, like business model innovation within climate services help create flexible, impactful, and scalable services. So I will give the floor to my colleague Chiara Bidoli, that she will go through the business model canvas and how this tool is a good tool for climate services. Chiara, when you are ready, I will give you the
So,
thank you.
Can you still see the slides?
Yeah, we can see perfectly.
Okay. Okay. So we can start from the definition of innovation in business model and in climate service too. So business innovation in general links to a new way of doing business. So it's not necessarily linked to the creation of new service or products, but it's rather a way for public and private institutes to rethink their activities, their mission, and also their objectives to be more resilient to a changing context. So since it's a quite complex task to do that, there are some tools, as Simone said, like the business model canvas, that can be used to as a reference framework to do innovation. So as you can see from the slide, so the business model canvas is a graphical framework made by 9 blocks that represent the way in which a business usually create, deliver, and capture value. So it's quite useful because it allows you to systematize complex knowledge in the context of the business and to communicate easier to internal and external stakeholders, for example, but also to simplify the knowledge and make it easier to compare your business model with the one of other competitors and then introduce some innovations. So we can try to look closer to these key blocks, starting from the value proposition. So the value proposition describes, let's say, the set of products and services that a business offers to a small group of people that is called the customer segment, but for addressing their needs and solving their problems. So if we think about climate services, for example, we can think of a local municipality that may have the need, for example, to understand what is the impact of a specific climate hazard in its territory to ensure citizen safety. If we then look closer to the other key blocks, made of key partners, key activities, and key resources, we can say that the key partners are those companies and other partners in general that may help the business succeed. So they can provide key resources or perform key activities. While key activities are defined as the crucial activities that the company perform to deliver their value proposition, and key resources instead list the most important physical and also intangible assets that a business have to generate its value proposition. So if we think about, again, climate services, for example, key activities may be data processing and manipulation, while key resources may be, for example, software developers. Okay, so we can now look at the part that most deal with customer and channels. So we have customer segments, and this customer segment define the group of people that an organization aim to serve. So it may be a mass market or a niche market, while the customer relationship is the way in which the business try to connect and relate with this customer segment. While instead, when we refer to channels, we refer to the way in which this value is delivered to customer segments. So we can think about a platform or an online website, or also a physical store if we have a physical product to sell. In the end, we have a cost and revenues structure. So cost structure mainly define the major cost involved in operating the business, while the revenue stream represent the way in which a company earns from each customer segment that aim to serve. So after this brief overview of the business model canvas, it should be more clear, like how it can be used to analyze a business and how it can be applied to climate service context. But now I leave the floor to Simone and Stefano that will show you through a simplified example how it can be applied to the climate service context.
Thank you very much, Chiara. So, in short, what Chiara has summed up about like climate model canvas, it's basically this tool help us to create like a taxonomy of business models that assess like barriers to adoption and analyze also successful factors and challenge in climate services across multiple sectors. But let's go dive in with the business CEO talk. This part of the parallel session is the most interesting one because we have like a on-hand experience with a CEO with Stefano Bagli that I will have like the pleasure to open the mic. So Stefano is the CEO of Ecosistema, and today we are going to ask him how it's important to use business model canvas within his firm. And then we are going to go through the Suffer Place, which is a digital platform that provided some advanced tools for food hazard and risk assessment that is led by Stefano but he's gonna to explain us better. Just Stefano, if you can kindly give a brief summary of what Suffer Place do before going to the business innovation question on the business model canvas.
Okay, of course. Thanks a lot, first of all, Simone and Chiara, for inviting me at this web festival. And yeah, so my name is Stefano. I'm CEO and founder of Ecosistema. Safer Places is a product of Ecosistema, but now it's also a startup company. It's a spin-off company of Ecosistema that is an environmental engineering firm based in Italy. And so Safer Places climate service can be defined as a climate service. We have developed a global platform able to deploy what we call flood risk intelligence in urban area. And in order to produce this data and service, we exploit geospatial, climate, and satellite data together with AI-based and hydrodynamic models. So the solution is already available in the market. It's both a software as a service solution and an API solution. And we are already supporting several public authorities. In particular, right now, we are supporting civil protection of Emilia-Romagna during the big transit that we are living now, starting from yesterday. And also today, we are supporting them in fast, rapid flood mapping in order to identify which are the area that could be flooded again and also supporting displacement of the people from emergency operator.
Thank you, Stefano. So just briefly, I will ask you just this question really straightforward. What are like your impression of business innovation within like climate services? How did you apply within safer places?
Yeah, concerning business innovation, yeah, maybe I can refer about climate services that exploit geospatial satellite data and AI-based models. I see convergence in terms of technological maturity and also high demands of data and new tools in order to take decisions. So I see this innovation quite promising so far. There is a huge potential market, huge potential development of new services that can fulfill the requirements of the user needs in order to support them to cope with climate challenges, to reduce economic losses, to save human lives, and to have a better and sustainable cities or activity. So yeah, my impression is that this is the right moment, and data, tools, technology is ready, demand is high. So we should put our effort in order to fulfill innovation and create new solution and new market.
Thank you very much. So let's go zoom in within the blocks that previously Chiara has explained. So let's start with the value proposition block. We see that how is like your strategy based on the value proposition. So which choice have you made in the development of Safer Place?
Yeah, so our unique value proposition or unique selling point that we try to achieve with the product Safer Places with our platform is this capability to generate flood data on the fly, means in a short computational time, and also have the possibility to set up a digital twin of the city in real time, exploiting the available open data. And in this way, we have a solution that can be updated on demand. And there is high need of flood data that refer to actual condition in terms of urban environment. So urban cities are evolving, but there is also the issues related to the climate conditions. So storms are becoming more strong and climate is changing. So this capability and flexibility of the platform is our unique selling point respect the competitor, and also this possibility to activate the solution at global scale. So in any city worldwide, we are able, thanks to our cloud-based solution, to generate the digital twin and then activate the service for deploying flood risk intelligence. And the other point is related to the resolution. So resolution matter in the field of flood risk. Even if two buildings are in the same road, in the same street, they can be flooded in a different way. So flood events are affecting assets and buildings in a different way, even they are in the same, more or less in the same location. So resolution is an important role. And with Safer Places, we are achieving our unique selling point is the capability to deploy high resolution data set.
Thank you very much, Stefano. So just some other like curiosity regarding the distribution model and maybe like your pricing strategies. So how much does it cost to develop and maintain a service like Safer Place? So which is like your current pricing strategy? And if the pricing structure has been tested, and how has the market responded to this kind of strategy?
Yeah, so our technology, Safer Places technology, is deployed in two different ways. We have a software as a service solution, so a cloud web application. And we have a data as a service, so API, and we can even embed our technology through API into other SaaS, software as a service. So we have developed both solution. And yeah, concerning the pricing strategy, basically we have a pricing strategy based on the extent of the activated area. So we ask an activation fee for the first time for activating the service for a specific city, and the user will pay a cost per square kilometer. And this cost also depends on how many tools and functionality you want to activate. So as we are covering fluvial, and coastal, the user can select to activate just one of the flood sources. We have damage, we have satellite functionality able to process satellite data set and retrieve flooded area from satellite data. So we have several options that could be selected by the user. And concerning the data as service, so through the API, our pricing strategy is more pay-per call. So for each call through API, for each building that you want to evaluate, which is the flood risk score, this solution is more suitable for fintech, insurtech sectors, so bank, insurance, that they need to understand which is the flood risk for a specific asset. So in this case, they will pay a pay-per-use scheme. So depends on the number of calls.
Thank you very much, Stefano. And I will go also like through one of the block of the business model campus. So Chiara before mentioned about key partners. So I would like to address the question. So who are like your main partners and collaboration in the several places network? And in addition to that, I would like to also to address you the question, how like does Sufferplace position itself against competitions? So how do you manage like your collaboration from one side, and maybe if you can spend some words about also competitors if you want.
Yeah, so Safer Places was generated after a research project funded by EIT Climate Kick. And so in the consortium of the project, there were several research centers and universities. So our natural network in terms of collaboration is still related to connection with the university and research center. In particular, we are working with the University of Bologna and University of Polytechnic in Madrid. So we have several collaboration, and this will improve and continue to motivate us in technological development of the solution. So this is our key partner for us, research center, possibility to work in the context of EU funded research project. This is a main driver for our innovation. And obviously, we have also some collaboration with data providers. So data are part, one of the main brick of our technology. So we are establishing, in particular partnership with the LiDAR data provider. This is the main data that Safer Places exploit. Yeah, and also satellite data provider. Concerning competition, yes, we are not the only one on the unique solution that provide the flood risk data in the context of flood, yeah, in the context of flood. And yeah, what we have these two unique selling propositions. So we have created this global platform, flexible, able to generate in real time flood risk data, and this is our. We are distinguished from the panorama of the competitors with the two unique selling propositions that I have described before. And yeah, maybe I don't know if I answer all your questions.
Yeah, it was really interesting insights. So I just like other question to address to you about the current trends and future challenge that your product like could foresee in the future.
Yeah, so we are active, as I said before, in technological development. There are several challenges, and in particular, there is high demand now of integration of data and also real-time data coming from sensors, for example. So this possibility to forecast in advance these storms and how they are affecting floods, they are affecting in terms of floods events into the urban area in cities, and also supporting civil protection more and more with 3D visualization, augmented reality. So this possibility to go through the city and visualize which area can be flooded, which are the flood condition in terms of depth and velocity. And this is pretty important. And we have seen just yesterday in Emilia-Romagna this collapse of the banks of the river, and the river was diverted into a city with a high impact in terms of velocity of the flood, and high impact in terms of destruction of the buildings. So this is pretty important also for the safety of the civil protection operator, of the emergency operator. So these are the future challenges that we are working on, and we would like to work in the next month, years.
So we have like just like a quick question from audience. So Andreas wrote, so what role do standards play for your company? Where do you see advantages or drawbacks about some standards that maybe like you need to face, also like in the light of the growing importance of like legislative standpoint, or for example climate risk reporting obligations?
Yeah, I mean, standards in terms of legislation, new regulation, they play a big role. There is now the new market related to climate risk disclosure, related to finance investment, and so this open a huge market in terms of data risk analytics, climate risk analytics, and flood risk analytics. Yeah, play a big role. In the same, for example, here in Italy, we have some regulation that asks the municipality to evaluate which are the climate risk and hazard during a new urban plan. And they play a big role for our company because we are able to provide this data and service. So yeah, regulation and standards are one of the main driver of innovation, and they can push and boost more and more the demand of innovative tools.
Thank you. Thank you, Stefano. We have like another question from the audience. So Stefano also put the web link for Setterplace in the chat. So if someone is like curious to see this website, it can be accessed to this link that just Stefano sent. So we have like another question from the audience, Stefano. They ask us like, do you do any advisory associated with your SAS, and do you do some quality assurance process related to your delivery? So they mostly reflect with your interaction with the customers. So I think they like more about like your distribution model. So which is like your delivery model. If do you use software as services approach, APIs, or other methods. And then we have like another question also from the audience. But if you want to respond to this question.
Yeah, advisory means more related consultancy services. So yes, so theoretically, the Safer Places startup company is just focused on selling SaaS and API solutions. So it's more software based, and yeah, we offer obviously maintenance of the platform and services and customer support. but it's more related to software solution, to the use of the platform. And the mother company, Ecosistema, as in the team of Ecosistema, is composed by hydraulic engineers. So we can offer also through the mother company consultancy in terms of flood risk, flood simulation, and sometimes, So basically, yes, but we have decided to divide and to have a proper company focus more on software and SaaS distribution and development.
Thank you very much, Stefano. So we have like an additional question from the audience. They say that the USP of your company, as you said, is the global platform. So does it mean that you can provide flood risk for any part of the globe? Second question, if so, what kind of dam and precipitation data do you use? So resolution, time delay, availability, etc.
So SaferPlace is a global platform. So you can activate quickly. Quickly, I mean in 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes. We have a wizard that follow you in the activation of the service in Los Angeles or in Rome, whatever, or in Delhi, in whatever area in the world. During the activation, you can select several data sets to set up the digital twin of the area and also selecting different climate data. We offer open data. So we have several open data through API connected to the platform, and we automatically cut the portion of the data and we integrate into the platform. But you can even upload your own data. So if you have your own LiDAR data set, because you have acquired or you have your own resources, you can upload and generate digital twin using your own data. So theoretically, practically, we can cover all the globe. Obviously, the resolution, this is the other question, is highly dependent on the resolution of the DTM, the digital terrain model, the dam or elevation. And so we exploit LiDAR data set where are available. For example, in US, we have 100% of coverage, UK, Italy, France, Poland. So 80% of Europe is covered by LiDAR data set. At the global scale, we have an agreement with the Intermap, and most of the country are covered by DTM of 5-meter resolution. The lowest resolution that we can offer is 25 meters, thanks to the Copernicus global data set. And that's it. So concerning climate data, again, the user can upload their own climate data related to historical data set, but also climate projection. Otherwise, we have a connection through API with the Copernicus World, the Copernicus Climate Data Store, and we have ERA 5 data global scale and climate projection. That's it. And the delay, the time requested to run a simulation is between less than 1 minute up to 5 minutes, depending on the size of the area. But as we have a cloud solution behind, we can scale the cloud solution and give more power of calculation in order to reduce the computational times. But the idea is a web service. The idea is to provide results to a user in front of a browser without waiting too much time.
Thank you very much, Stefano, for your prompt answers. So also, I also like invite the audience if they have like some curiosities about SaferPlace to write down some question in the chat. So let's continue about my curiosity about the global market positioning of the SaferPlaces right now. So let's say that in a market where many companies are acquired on a global scale, what do you position like yourself in terms of market value, and which kind of like strategies do you intend to adopt to increase Safer Places capitalization value in case?
Yeah, so climate risk data analytics is becoming a huge market, and there are evaluation above 50 billion so far of dollars on annual basis, and yeah, the market is increasing. So in Safer Places, we are now addressing this niche more related to supporting now the public sector, so civil protection and local authorities, municipality regions to cope with the flood events, basically, and to try to anticipate flood events or try to support them in climate change adaptation. So, for example, designing new city, new regeneration urban plan, our solution can support urban planner in designing new cities. So this is our niche, and so for example in Europe, in the OECD country are more than 35,000 cities, urban areas, and so the market is huge. Scalability of the market in the context of public administration, public authority is not so easy because the time requested to achieve a contract usually is quite slow and difficult. There are several silos that you have to overcome, respect the private. But as the demand is becoming huge, and unfortunately flood events are very painful now, yeah, now there is more attention in this innovation. Yeah, we are also addressing the market of the fintech, insurtech. This market is also already, there are already several competitors, so maybe competition is more tough for us, respect the public. But yeah, we aim also to exploit this market opportunity thanks to our solution that is continuously updated. This is so usually the other competitors sell static data. We aim to sell updated data on the condition of the climate and the cities. And yeah, capitalization. So we are active in the field of VC, venture capital. We would like to boost our business unit in order to, as we have a global market, what we are looking now is to improve our business commercial operation. And so we have a capitalization between 10 and 15 million euro, according to also the equity free funds that has been invested in Safer Places thanks to ESA and European EIT Climate Kick Research Project to generate and deploy and develop the solution.
Thank you very much.
See a hand on of Yaro.
Yeah. Like I was like apologizing because I couldn't see like the raised hand, but I will ask Yaro to ask the question. Then we have like the last one question in the chat that I would like to address you before the end of the session.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Simone, and thank you, Stefano. We are going to be interrupted because the time for this breakout discussion is expiring. But this is also Judith's question, and my question is combined. Perhaps we can take it if we are interrupted also to another space. But how do you employ your service under the emergency, right? The 2023 flood or the flood that we have experienced just a couple of days ago. Does the service provide interesting insight for the civil protection agencies as the flood unfolds?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the civil protection Emilia-Romagna technicians that are using now, today and yesterday, they use the platform to simulate collapse of the dams of the river and to quickly identify which are the area that could be flooded, and they send this important and vital information to the emergency operation to save human lives and displaced people. So this is a very easy and fast modeling tools that cover these crucial needs in